What's up, guys, and welcome to another video. Actually, this is strange. We don't do this. We post once a week, every week, if that maybe. We try. But this week we've posted two extra videos, or it will have been two extra videos. The first one, as you know, was me addressing the whole censorship, and yes, I still am working on editing that that episode 12, so we can get that put back up so you can see the rest of the information. But like I said, um, follow us on Instagram and check out the podcasts where you can listen to the whole episode. And in the video I made, there's an entire list of places you can go listen to that podcast. But we're gonna expand upon what I did the other day. Mason had this idea, and I thought it was fantastic. And I thought I said something about it in the video, but I may not have. We're going to go over YouTube's COVID-19 and election misinformation policy.
Oh, that sounds great. Hopefully you guys can actually see this video.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't think it'll get taken down. YouTube. We're helping make sure people know they shouldn't be talking about stuff that you guys think is incorrect.
We'll be giving our opinions. Our
Yes.
opinions aren't facts. Only
Yes.
mine are, not Tim's.
Well, okay, I see how it is.
Sorry, YouTube. I did not mean to offend the Overlord.
Okay. Yes. But on to the. You want to start with the election misinformation because that's what we got. Point. We got a warning for.
Ooh, a warning.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to start on the election information? Content that contains hacked info, the disclosure of which may interfere with the democratic process. Um. That seems kind of iffy to me, because I feel like sometimes people just need to know stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, imagine the links that YouTube would go to. Like, what would they deem as information that would interfere with the democratic process?
Yeah, especially with that wording. That gives it like a very gray line that they could
Mm-hmm.
walk through.
Because I mean, think about the Hunter Biden's laptop,
That got censored.
and guess what? Now, things that conservatives were talking about a year ago, the mainstream media is just now talking about because they're allowed to say it now.
Mm-hmm. Now that the work is done.
Yep. So I'm not too sure about the distribution of hack materials. I say if it's incriminating, it's fair game when it comes to the U.S. Election.
Well, even with the election integrity, what it says in it is this currently applies to any past U.S. presidential election and the 2021 German federal election. And you
Yeah,
could tell clearly by the way that they're saying that any past U.S. election, you could tell that they really just mean the 2020 election.
yeah,
Someone said that there was like the Russians in 2016. YouTube's not going to do anything about that. They didn't do anything about that.
yeah.
So, like, I could say the 1800 election with Thomas Jefferson could have been rigged, and
Wait, did
and
Thomas Jefferson run in 1800?
yeah, it was the exact. I just barely looked it up. It was that exact year. I just
Oh
want to look
wow.
up a random date and mention it. I could
Yeah,
say that,
yeah.
and no one's gonna have problem with it because it was 200 flipping years ago.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I talked about the whole election integrity thing. Content that advances false claims that widespread voter fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of the select national elections. Select past national elections after final election results are officially certified. This currently applies to, like you said, the U.S. presidential election and the 2021 German federal election. I did not know that Germany had a election, but clearly its election integrity has come into question. Um,
Yeah, if
but
YouTube's talking about it, then you know there's a problem.
yeah, but I will go ahead and say for YouTube, um,
We
there,
don't know anything about
yeah,
Germany.
but
Leave
but
us alone.
yeah, we don't know anything about Germany, but I'm sure there's no evidence of widespread fraud, errors, or glitches that change the outcome of the U.S. 2020 presidential election or the 2021 German federal election. Just so you'll know. Um,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there is fraud in every election. Enough to change the election? No.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah.
at least one voter fraud, like one person who commits voter fraud in
Hmm.
every election.
Well, I
Un-
mean, yeah.
yeah,
Well, see, there was already cases of people. I mean, there was proven cases of people voting for Trump with deceased
yeah.
ballots.
Well,
Like
not just Biden, also Trump. And I condemn any sort of voter fraud in any way, whether it be for Trump, whether it be for Biden,
yeah,
whether it
because
be
that's
for Hillary Clinton, or whatever the freak. Just I don't. Any form of it is bad. It
yeah.
is breaking the law, and therefore it is not good.
So, examples of distribution of hacked materials: videos that contain hacked info about a political candidate shared with the internet to interfere with an election. So, I mean, okay, so say somebody hacks into Trump's email, and Trump emailed Putin. I don't know. Saying, "Yo, I'm about to hop on a plane and go to like literally Bosnia, just blow up the country." Like that I mean that information was hacked. I don't feel like he should be winning an election. If that happened, that did not happen. I'm pretty sure. I hope it didn't happen.
Well, I think
Jeez.
that's probably the most extreme circumstance there is.
Yeah,
Because at
yeah.
that point, you go, well, what do we do? Do we suppress the information or do we stop him from blowing up this country?
Exactly, exactly.
This is their examples of election integrity misinformation. Claims that a candidate only won a swing state in the US 2020 presidential election due to voting machine glitches that changed votes. Yeah, I don't believe that machines glitch at all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Um I mean, the machines that were used for the election. I'm pretty sure it was like a private company that made them. That
It was
also,
wasn't it Dominion? Dominion?
I think so. And didn't they work with like the Dems on something? I don't know. I don't
They
know.
were like with something with like China, but that doesn't mean that there was any
Oh yeah,
sort of
yeah.
information.
No
We're walking
evidence.
on a very, very thin tightrope right now, so
There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud, errors, or glitches that changed the outcome of the U.S. 2020 presidential election.
their next this is their other example of election integrity. Claims that dead people voted in numbers that changed the outcome of the US 2016 presidential election. Now, no one actually thought that in the 2016 election that I'm aware of, but a lot of people thought that about the 2020 election. So that is why it is brought up, and they're just using different years.
Or maybe they're saying 2016 specifically because it
Just to
did
make it look
happen.
like it's a
Di-
little more of a random number.
no, maybe because it actually did happen in 2020. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That
I'm
was a joke!
joking. It was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, no. So this pretty much applies to both elections. I feel like they just I don't know. Nobody said that about the 2016 election. I do not remember that being said.
It might have been like said by the Democrats,
I
but
don't think so.
they only
No.
said Russia. That's all they said.
Yeah, that's all they were talking about.
Claims that fake ballots were dumped to give one candidate enough votes to win a state in a past U.S. presidential election. Like I said, 1800, Thomas Jefferson.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like it would be really easy to stuff ballot boxes back in the day. Like
Oh, yeah.
1800, it's like, all right, um, haven't I seen you before? Guy throws on like a fake beard. No.
It's like when you're going through like Costco and you're trying to get those like samples.
Yeah, you just
You're
like,
like grabbing clothes, it still has the tags on it. You're like, I'm a completely different person.
or you're one of those people who wears like a whole bunch of layers of clothes and you just run out to your car, bring the food out, take a layer of clothes off, go back in.
You
Hey,
just tie it around your waist every time. They're like, I literally saw you wearing that jacket. All right, next one. Content it advance or sorry, it yeah, advances false claims that widespread fraud, error, or glitches change the outcome of the German Bundestag elections.
Bundestag. I think I don't know. Delegitimizes the formation of the new government or the election and the appointment of the next German chancellor. So this is one of the important things at the bottom is we may allow content that violates the election integrity policy noted on this page if the content includes additional context in the video. So I feel like this is going to be allowed.
We'll be okay.
Yeah. In the video, audio, title, or description. This is not a free pass to promote misinformation. Additionally, context may include countervailing views, or if the purpose of to condemn, dispute, or satirize misinformation that violates our policy. So we're allowed to satirize, is what I'm seeing here.
Sweet.
Now on to COVID-19 medical misinformation. Okay, so here's some things that'll.
If you believe that COVID-19 does not exist, you're right. Just kidding.
No. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. COVID-19 does not exist at all. Okay, no, I'm joking.
Laugh with us, YouTube.
So, content that denies the existence of COVID-19. So here's some things that are a big no-no. Denial of COVID-19 exists. Claims that people have not died or gotten sick from COVID-19. Claims that the virus no longer exists or that the pandemic is over. Claims that the symptoms, death rates, or contagiousness of COVID-19 are less severe or equally as severe as the common cold or seasonal flu. Okay, so here's the thing. They are not less severe or equal to. They're just a little bit worse. Okay, there we go. Hey.
I personally believe that we should no longer be calling this a global pandemic. I don't believe we should use that term.
It's only a 10% more not even a 10%. It's a 1% mortality rate. Treatment misinformation includes content that encourages the use of home remedies, prayers, or rituals in place of medical treatment, such as consulting a doctor or going to a hospital. So I have said this multiple times. In regards to getting the COVID vaccine, or when it comes to treating COVID, talk to your doctor. Your doctor knows you more than anybody else knows you. I wouldn't go that far, but knows your medical needs more than most people.
You do.
Yes.
I know what time you go to sleep.
Yes. Okay.
I know all of that.
Talk to your doctor when it comes to that. Home remedies, I mean, there's nothing wrong with drinking hot tea and with some lemon in it, getting your vitamin C. Those are all things that are super important. Do your normal cold and flu stuff just because, those are things that haven't been proven but generally help you get better.
Vitamin C has been proven. It's been on this earth for about forever.
Really? I didn't know it was proven, but hey, there you go.
Different stuff.
Here's one thing. Go outside. Don't lock yourself in your house, but if you can, I know it's getting a little bit colder here soon, at least here in the States, but if you can, go in your backyard, get some fresh air, step out on the patio. Fresh air is always good for you, and the virus doesn't like the sun. So, there you go. So prayers. I have no clue who's telling people that prayers cure stuff. Now, it's always, coming from a religious background, both me and Mason actually talked about this before we started. I feel like praying for something to happen, like praying to get better. There's nothing wrong with that, but telling people that it's the end all be all, telling them that that's what's gonna cure them, that's a little iffy. But it's nice to have faith and pray for good things to happen.
And just like that, you don't just only rely on that. You should always, for those of us who are religious, of course, you should always, pray and, try to talk to God and everything like that. But again, that's not the only thing you should be doing as well.
Yeah.
Just like you're not going to just pray that you one day just wake up and win the lottery because, that's not how it works.
I actually don't like it when I don't like it when people use stuff like the lottery as an example of things that you get from prayer, like praying for some people will say I pray every morning before I get in the car. Praying every morning before you get in the car that you'll be okay is a good thing, but if you go around driving like a maniac, it's not going to help.
I know, you don't Jesus take the wheel.
yeah, that's not how it works. So when you're praying to get better from being sick, don't just pray to get better and then not do anything to get better. Do your normal stuff. Get some fresh air. Make sure you're resting. Vitamin C, chicken noodle soup, tea. There you go. But yeah, and then rituals. I mean, I think the Aztecs believe in child sacrifice. When did we turn away from that? Come on now. Concept that claims there's a guaranteed cure for COVID-19. Like we said, and like many people say, actually, there's not very many cures for anything. You mostly just treat the symptoms until eventually you get better. So that's what a lot of these are. Content that recommends the use of ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine for the treatment of COVID-19. So, in regards of ivermectin, Joe Rogan was prescribed ivermectin by his doctor, and it worked for him. Now, that does not mean it will work for everybody. Ask your doctor. There you go. Ask, just like YouTube says, ask a trained medical professional or go to a hospital. And then for hydroxychloroquine, it is not a treatment for COVID-19. Hydroxychloroquine treats the symptoms, not COVID-19 itself. So,
Or even that, a lot of the treatments that they're actually using for COVID and like policies and stuff that they're using in hospitals is not working. That's why a lot of people are dying, is because if you cannot see your loved one whatsoever, and you're just completely locked in your room and your only friends are these doctors that are wearing hazmat suits that are treating you like a radiation victim,
yeah.
your mental state is not in a good place.
Well, so the thing is, a lot of medication, like, okay, so ibuprofen, okay, aspirin, those types of things, they don't do anything to heal you. What they do is they tell your brain to release, to stop releasing a chemical or to release a chemical that makes you feel pain. So you don't feel that pain while your body's healing itself. It's the same thing with like cough medicine. It lubricate. You still technically have the thing that's going to make you cough, but you're lubricating your throat. You're giving yourself a little bit of pain medication, so you're not feeling that pain. So your body has time to heal itself while you're like relaxing. It's the same thing with being sick. You take your medication, your cough medicine, your headache medicine. You're still sick. You may still have the sneezes. Maybe you took some like runny nose medicine too, but you still have that bacteria or virus in you, and your body's working to get rid of it. So.
Boom, real science.
Yeah, claims that hydroxychloroquine is an effective treatment for COVID-19. That's a big no-no. Categorical claims that ivermectin is an effective treatment. I don't know what categorical claims means.
I believe that it personally probably has a better chance than just sitting in your house and doing nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that to some people it actually may work. But then again, that does not mean that everyone should try it and everything like that.
Yes, in the end, you should be asking your doctor.
That is, ask your doctor if you know your doctor and he knows you as well. If he's just a random doctor and he's just like, you know what, I believe you should do all that. I personally do not think that that's the case.
Other content that discourages people from consulting a medical professional.
Dang it! Okay, find a doctor that you know and trust and talk to him. All right, prevention misinformation. You cannot claim that there's a guaranteed prevention method for COVID-19. Hear that, mask people? Don't. Just okay.
Hey, YouTube, and that even includes the vaccine. The vaccine is not a guaranteed protection or prevention from the COVID-19. It's not guaranteed.
All right, claims that any medication or vaccination is a guaranteed prevention method for COVID-19. Once again, haha. All right, then there's stuff about the medication that I still can't pronounce. Claims that wearing a mask is dangerous and causes negative physical health effects. Okay, I have a bit of a problem with this one.
Yeah, okay, so here's the assumption. Wearing a mask in and of itself is not dangerous and it does not cause negative physical health effects. But it combined with several other things. Yeah, no, that's not good.
Or even with long periods of time, you're breathing in that resin, like.
Well, yeah. See, stuff. See, that's the thing. That's the other thing that changes that answer. Wearing a mask in and of itself is not
Yes.
dangerous. Just like
I
holding a rag over your face in and of itself is not dangerous.
and then
But
pouring water on it and laying upside down now.
Mason, you
It's
you and you
called
and St-
waterboarding.
you and Steven
Show.
you and Steven are about to be kicked out. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay. All right. You want
All
to
right,
you
let's
want to
just go on now. Claims that masks do not play a role in preventing the contraction or transmission of COVID-19.
Okay. So, I'm going to say this. There's a box of masks at my work. Every single one of the boxes we get from corporate says on the side, these do not prevent the transmission of viruses.
Preach it.
Now, masks as a whole, yes, they do somewhat prevent the transmission because the droplets get caught in the mask.
Claims about COVID-19 vaccinations that contradict expert consensus from local health authorities or WHO.
Okay, 1 second. I'm looking at this. Okay, so COVID-19 vaccine will
Basically, that says you
cause.
can only have. There's only one opinion about this, and if you disagree with that, then you could get censored.
Okay, claims that that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will cause death, infertility, miscarriage, autism, or contraction of other infectious diseases. So I don't think there's any evidence of that at the moment. Claims that approved COVID-19 vaccine will contain. Well, okay. Yeah, nope. It doesn't say anything about myocarditis, so that is correct. Or any other things that may lead to death, but it does not cause death in and of itself. Claims that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will contain substances that are not on the vaccine ingredient list. Okay. So,
Here we are.
no, the vaccines do not contain fetal tissue or fetal cell linings, but they were produced, especially the one by Johnson & Johnson, and Steven said something about the one by Pfizer, using cells from fetal tissue. So they were produced using it. It does not contain it.
That we know of.
Yeah, and Tim Pool was talking about that too. He said, they were gonna say it. They were gonna say it. Okay. Now there was a story about a woman getting a saline shot. Like legitimately, a legitimate story of her getting a saline shot. Claims that an approved COVID-19 vaccine will contain substances or devices meant to track or identify those who receive it. All right.
I personally believe that one is true. Or no, that or isn't tracking devices, because these are our tracking devices.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, it'd be a wasted effort to put tracking devices in people if this is what we have.
Yeah, the government already knows where you are. You don't need to worry about the vaccine. You've got your phone you need to worry
Just
about.
like your hat, it's the birds.
Yeah, the birds work for the bourgeoisie, and the bourgeoisie is the government.
Okay, I just want to know, do you actually believe that birds aren't real, or
What do you mean?
or like the hat? Do you actually believe? Is that what your hat says?
Yeah.
The claims that COVID vaccines will make people who receive them magnetic.
Yeah, okay, so there's actually been a lot of people who weren't like super popular, but who were pretty prevalent, who were like, "See, look, I'm magnetic." Okay, and then they'd like stick something to their arm, and it would stick. And they're like, "And to prove it, I'm gonna put baby powder on my arm." And they rub baby powder on their arm, and they tried to stick the thing to their arm, and it just fell off.
I did actually see this pretty serious video where there's this woman and she could just stick anything to herself, and she's like in the hospital going through a lot of different stuff like brain damage and all sorts of different stuff. I don't know who it is or like other stuff like that. Otherwise, I would
It's probably
we'd
fake.
probably source it and get censored. But I personally
So there
do
are
not
stories.
know anyone that's
Yeah, I don't either. There are people, and there was like a series of people who have like superpowers, like actual superpowers, and one of them was that they sweated more, and that their sweat was a little bit different, so it actually became stickier. than sweat usually is. So like he could carry like a bookshelf just sitting on his chest. Yeah, it was weird.
I
Um,
personally think if it does turn people magnetic, I know who the real person behind all of it is. It's Magneto from the Marvel X-Men comics. He's behind all of it.
Blame Magneto, guys. Blame Magneto. So claims that COVID-19 vaccines do not reduce the risk of contracting COVID-19. I do have a serious problem with this one. Because you can still catch COVID-19, but you having symptoms or it being that bad for you, is most likely a no.
I'm not sure, but I saw this or I heard about this video somewhere where there's this vaccinated person who
Mhm.
died of COVID-19, and the doctor was saying, thankfully he was vaccinated, otherwise things could have been worse.
What do you
And I'm
mean?
like, he died. And they were saying that if he wasn't vaccinated, things could have been worse.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
More fees for the hospital, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, more your insurance liability or like.
Okay. Um,
But I'm
so
just like, what? The man died, and you're saying things could have been worse?
claims that any vaccine causes the contraction of COVID-19. I've never heard that claim before.
Wait, that when you get the vaccine gives you COVID?
Oh, no, it just says any vaccine. But yeah, I've heard that one, but hey. I mean, I feel like that's a fair assumption to make actually.
Yeah, because isn't
Because
that what it is? Is that get
most
COVID?
vaccines give you a dead version of the virus, and there are chances that you get slightly sick from it. But
Yeah,
hey, it's whatever. It's whatever. Whatever, YouTube.
whatever. You
Um,
could trust me.
claims that a specific population will be required by any entity except for a government to take part in vaccine trials or receive the vaccine first.
I receiving it first. I don't know what that means, but aren't we as a people now being like forced to get it in order to work?
Um, it says except for a government. Well, so here's the thing. The so it's the vaccine mandate actually has not been approved. That's
Hmm.
not something that's actually put into place, and I didn't know that. But it is for government contractors, and there's a lot of companies that are government contractors, including airlines. And that's what happened at Southwest Airlines. That's my opinion.
Hurricane Brandon.
Hurricane Brandon, the Freedom Flu. Um, have you seen that, the Freedom Flu?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So claims that a specific yeah. Content that promotes the use of unapproved or homemade COVID-19 vaccines. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Just use
That's
bleach.
basically
Just inject bleach into your arm. Come on.
this is the new vaccine, bleach.
Yeah. Okay. Instructions to counterfeit vaccine certificates or offer the sale of such documents. They were selling them for $100.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Selling-
I saw them literally being sold on eBay for $100.
Did you get one?
No, I didn't get. I'm already vaccinated, which sucks. As soon as they require the third booster shot, I'm not getting it though. Officially unvaccinated.
I'm just like I don't want a certificate. I don't want to be something I'm not.
Yeah. Okay, so diagnostic misinformation claims that approved COVID-19 tests are dangerous or cause negative physical health effects. I've never heard that claim that the tests
Wait.
cause physical health effects.
I did hear like some stuff sometimes that like the test they put COVID on the test so that you could catch COVID.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know. I remember conversations and I could be doing something else and I could just hear something from
Okay,
anywhere.
I think that conversation was people not thinking. Now I do think they inflate. I think they inflate COVID deaths. I don't think they inflate.
Oh, easily.
I don't think
That's
they
not.
inflate COVID cases.
Sorry, YouTube. I'm not gonna apologize, but that is easily a fact.
They easily inflate. That's yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of sources, including Project Veritas, who have talked about it. So,
Do
yeah.
I believe that they're putting COVID on test? Personally, no. Do I believe that their tests do not work? I have a feeling that that's on the list.
Whoa. claims that approved COVID-19 tests cannot diagnose COVID-19.
It's not even approved. The fetcher and fetchers.
I mean, if it's not approved, I mean,
Well, I don't know if it is approved. It just doesn't work. Satire, of course. It's
satire. Okay.
Satire.
So, you want to go over transmission information?
I personally don't think there's much on the transmission, right?
Content that claims COVID-19 is not caused by a viral infection.
Where the
Content that claims COVID is not contagious, cannot spread to certain climates or
What
geographies.
kind of claim is that? Claim that COVID-19 is not contagious? Well, how does it spread that?
You just develop it. You
Every-
just develop
Every
it.
virus in the world is contagious to an extent.
Yeah.
Because then it would not be a virus if it was not contagious. It would be like a parasite or something.
Content that any group or individual has immunity to the virus or cannot
do.
Yeah, I mean, not Steven. I'm sorry, Mason. Mason's immune. Come on now. Yeah, so that's basically it. So like we said, we violated the misinformation about the election. I'm sorry, YouTube. Okay, but yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. You guys, unless you want to say anything else, Mason.
Just make sure you talk to real people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Make sure this isn't your only like actual source of knowledge and truth is YouTube, because as you can see, they have their own stuff and their own agendas and everything like that. Whether it's for your good or mine, I don't really care. But it's good to be open-minded about stuff.
Yeah. And I will say a few things. Looking strictly at the words that they used. Masks cause lung cancer or brain damage is one of their examples.
I believe it's heart cancer, but
okay, regardless, looking at their wording for many of these things, they are technically correct for a lot of them. For a few of them I would argue with, but it's whatever. But yeah, I
would argue with a lot of them. I just don't want to get us banned.
Oh, you're fine. It'd be only for a week.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, talk to a real doctor, and don't let, like Mason said, don't let all the information you get is like from YouTube, because it's kind of weird. You need to get some friends. Just sitting in your house watching YouTube all day. Who does that?
No, I actually don't. I'm actually really good at not watching YouTube because I get bored because I don't know what to watch.
I mean, I'm pretty bad about it. But yeah.
I just don't look at the up next and I'm fine.
Oh.
Just don't look at the suggested and you'll be fine. You'll be great. Break your addiction today.
Well, so it sounds. Wow, that sounds like a good commercial, actually. Mason, you should make a YouTube therapy thing. But yeah, anyways, I'll post a link to this because I actually think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, read it for yourself.
Down below. You can read it down below. Yeah, read it for yourself. But yeah, check out the podcast. Like I said in the other video, and I may have it in this video too, we've got links for everywhere where it's available. And, share it with your friends, leave a 5-star review, like, subscribe, and comment if you think any of these are, kind of silly. Any of these, I
mean, if your comment doesn't get removed, we'll try to respond.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple comments where people have just, like, commented a string of, like, letters and numbers. And I'm just like, this is really weird. And then when I go to look at the comment's not there. Like, I'll get the notification for it, but it will just disappear. Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and you want to close us out, Mason?
Enjoy yourselves. Have a good one.
Enjoy yourselves.
Break your YouTube addiction today.
Okay. Adios.